Working for you. This is CBS 6 This Morning, Weekend.
We have an update on COVID-19 in the Commonwealth, the number of cases confirmed so far and why experts believe they will keep climbing.
With the grace of God, we will win this war, and we will win this war quickly with as little death as possible.
President Trump sees off the USNS Comfort as it leaves Virginia for New York City. The supplies on board to help with the coronavirus. COVID-19 concerns now shift to public spaces, what parkgoers are doing to maintain social distancing, and why the city of Richmond is keeping a close eye on the practice. 6 o'clock. Straight up, good Sunday morning to you on this March 29th. I'm Greg McQuaid. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm joined by meteorologist Mike, 6 feet at all times. Stone.
I think we're a little less than 6 feet, but we're BFFs, so it's a little different.
It's just the camera angle. We're actually like 20 feet apart.
That's true.
It's good to see you, pal.
Good to see you. Yesterday, that little warm front went just north of Richmond. It got nice and warm. That front has sunk southward, and we have a lot of low cloudiness and fog outside.
I was going to say, the fog is pretty thick out there.
Yeah, so it's cooled off a little bit in Richmond. We have this fog going on here, but that front's going to lift back northward, and we're going to get pretty toasty today, especially south of Richmond.
I love it. Tell us about it, my man.
We're going to be dealing with this for the next couple hours, though. This low cloudiness and fog, especially from the metro and points northward. Visibility really cut down. In fact, outside currently at the airport, the visibility is a quarter mile, a half a mile in Petersburg, 3/4 of a mile in West Point, a quarter mile in Kilmarnock, and also in Orange and also Stanton. And as you take a look at the temperatures and how the winds are, here's the front. It was up here yesterday afternoon. It's sunk back southward, and we have a northeasterly wind, so temperatures are in the 50s. South of the front, it's in the 60s, and we have a mostly cloudy to overcast sky. What's going to happen today is we'll keep that low cloudiness and fog around through about mid-late morning. After that, the clouds will start breaking up, and once that happens, the temperature is really going to jump. We'll get into the mid to upper 80s today. Areas south of Richmond, down towards the North Carolina line, may get close to around 90 or hit 90. And there's still about a 20% chance of a thunderstorm as a little cold front comes through late today. Not a lot of areas will see these storms, but the ones that pop out could be strong, and I'll talk more about that in your hour-by-hour forecast coming up. Greg?
Mike, that is warm. Thanks so much, man. It's 6:02. Another Virginia health district is reporting a first death from the coronavirus. This information is coming from the Crater Health District, which covers cities and counties on Southside Virginia. The district isn't identifying the person for privacy reasons, but they do say they died of complications associated with COVID-19. The Crater District also announced a new case in the city of Emporia. The police department there posted a message to Facebook last night. It says one of their workers tested positive and is self-quarantining at home. The Virginia Department of Health will update the coronavirus numbers in the Commonwealth later this morning as they keep climbing. So far, there are 739 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 17 deaths in the state. That tally includes 31 positive cases in Henrico, 20 in Richmond, and 12 in Chesterfield. Important to note, though, Governor Northam and health leaders say they expect the numbers to increase each day for a period of time because of expanded testing and community spread. Director of the Richmond and Henrico Health District, Dr. Danny Avula, says warmer weather might even spread the virus.
Spreading in our community, and it's having really severe impacts on elderly individuals, then we've got to act differently. We've really got to comply with that social distancing mandate.
Dr. Avula says the health department is working with police to make sure businesses are following social distancing rules. A presidential send-off. President Trump visited Naval Station Norfolk to watch the USNS Comfort. It's a hospital ship depart for the Big Apple. Brendan Ponton from our sister station in Norfolk tells us more about Mr. Trump's visit and the Comfort's capabilities in fighting COVID-19.
President Trump says the Comfort is a message of hope for the nation. As here at Naval Station Norfolk, he provided updates on how his administration is responding to the coronavirus outbreak. Speaking in front of the USNS Comfort, President Trump tried to reassure the nation about his response to the coronavirus outbreak.
Today, our country is at war with an invisible enemy. We are marshaling the full power of the American nation, economic, scientific, medical, and military, to vanquish the virus.
The president spoke to an audience mostly of reporters and television cameras and saw the Comfort leave port along with Secretary of Defense Mark Esper. It's heading to New York, where the hospital ship will treat non-coronavirus patients to help hospitals keep up with demand. Maintenance on the ship was originally supposed to take weeks, but was expedited.
This great ship behind me is a 70,000-ton message of hope and solidarity to the incredible people of New York.
The New York region continues to be called the epicenter of the outbreak, with New York State seeing more than 50,000 cases. President Trump says he's thinking about quarantining New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
And we'll make a decision very quickly, very shortly. A quarantine, because it's such a hot area of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. We'll be announcing that one way or the other fairly soon.
And with some hospitals experiencing personal protective equipment shortages, the president says millions of pieces of equipment are being made, including ventilators.
We have moved rapidly to mobilize every instrument of American power.
And as the Comfort heads to New York City, it'll bring an additional 1,000 hospital beds and a dozen operating rooms.
And with the grace of God, we will win this war, and we will win this war quickly with as little death as possible.
The Comfort is expected to reach New York City on Monday, where it will then begin treating non-coronavirus patients. Working for you at Naval Station Norfolk, Brendan Ponton, CBS 6 News.
Well, several hours after that visit, the president tweeted that he would not be issuing a quarantine order for New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut after the governors there protested. The president is urging a strong travel advisory, though. And meanwhile, in Portsmouth, a special delivery came in from overseas, more test kits for the virus. 3 boxes of tests came in. The Tidewater area saw its first import of test kits on Monday. The Port of Virginia has sped up their intake process when it comes to cargo that could save lives, so it'll only take 2 hours for the boxes to get stacked onto trucks and out on the road to their destination. The FDA is trying to make testing quicker. They're now approving a new coronavirus test that can provide test results in less than 15 minutes. Currently, it takes days to get results back. So far, this new test is just for emergency use. The company that makes it expects to be able to produce 15,000 per day starting next week. Testing, of course, is a key piece of the coronavirus response, and social distancing may be equally as important. Cities and counties are trying to encourage it by making big changes in local parks. As Matthew Foltz tells us, people are getting out to enjoy the nice weather this weekend, but tried keeping their distance from each other.
Well, Chesterfield, Henrico, and Richmond all have signs throughout their parks warning people to be careful with the COVID-19 outbreak. However, Chesterfield is taking that a step further by taping off their play areas throughout their parks. On a hot Saturday, tennis players lined the courts of Bird Park in Richmond.
It's a good activity, just kind of get away from some of what's going on nowadays.
Avid tennis player John Woods hit the court Saturday with friends and says they practice social distancing.
We almost do a virtual fist bump or, that kind of stuff because we were not shaking hands at the end of the match.
And it's what most people seem to do throughout the park. Meanwhile, in Chesterfield, locks were placed on gated tennis courts and basketball hoops were removed from courts at Iron Bridge Park. The county says they're taking precautions to limit the threat of COVID-19. Woods thinks it's not necessary.
We can be flexible and modify and not make quick decisions that end up instilling more and more worry and fear. That's good.
Leaders in Henrico say they are leaving parks open but using warning signs for people to be smart.
I'm glad Richmond's open for now.
While Richmond continues to monitor park usage and social distancing with the help of police, a decision Tim Socia believes is good to keep people following the rules.
If there was a jogger, they basically veered around you, and if there was another group of people, they basically spread out as they walked by each other.
In the meantime, Woods just hopes everyone can stay distant and restrictions can be lifted soon.
I just hope that maybe they can revisit it maybe in a week or two and look at the possibility of maybe loosening some restrictions, but still be smart and not compromise the health.
Now, Richmond Mayor LeVar Stoney encourages people to continue following the social distance rules. He says if they don't follow these rules, he'll be forced to close all city parks. Working for you in Richmond, I'm Matthew Foltz, CBS 6 News.
Hey, you can find more coronavirus stories like this on WTVR.com and on our breaking news app. You can download that app for free right now. We are always working for you. Coming up, just a couple of ticks before 6:10 on CBS 6 Sunday Morning. Frightening like a freight train. A tornado rips through the south. A look at the aftermath and the curfew in place. Mike, as if they needed anything else to work on.
That's true there, Greg. For us today, we may see a late day thunderstorm, but we're starting off with a lot of low cloudiness and fog in the metro and points northward. But a lot of us are going to get pretty toasty today. We'll talk about that coming up next.
All right, Mike, let's take a little virtual trip to Amsterdam, a beautiful city, much like Venice with a lot of canals. And we have some music coming up here from local artists. You want to stick around for that. At 6:10, we'll be right back.
We're family.
It's good to all be together. Gotta be there when family needs you.
Talk about a win-win.
Sunday night. A great night to spend time with family. And these guys are my family, too.
Being on this team is a rocket ride.
True that.
Good times.
I freaking love it.
Great mysteries.
It's on.
Case solved.
To the best team in town.
New NCIS Los Angeles and NCIS New Orleans. Tonight on CBS.
My skin is dry. It's always been dry. I've tried everything. The $200 creams, the $400 creams, but this jar works for me. Olay Regenerist makes my skin feel so dewy and soft and silky and hydrated. Incredible. I love it. I'm Busy Phillips, and my skin is confident. I can face anything with my Olay. And my latest beauty secret for bright, smooth skin, Olay Regenerist Cream Cleanser.
You know who really loves fresh food? Amateur chefs, stay-at-home parents, salad lovers, barbecuers, smorgasborders, hors d'oeuvres, fondue-ers, and flambéers, midnight snackers, brown baggers, bakers, and throw it in the microwavers. At Kroger, you can get all the fresh you want at a great price with same-day pickup and delivery. Because we believe in fresh for everyone.
A lot has changed overnight, but Buick and GMC's commitment to you remains the same. We understand you want to feel safe, so we're offering current owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services. Should you need a vehicle, we're offering 0% financing for up to 84 months with deferred payment options for 120 days. Plus, you may have the option to shop online and take delivery at home. Visit our websites for the help you need. Buick and GMC, we're here to help.
All right, good morning. Welcome back. 6:12. The city of Jonesboro, Arkansas, under a curfew at this hour after a tornado touched down Saturday afternoon.
Neighbors captured video of the funnel cloud as it tore through the city. Take a look.
Amazing. The funnel cloud struck just before 5 Saturday afternoon. Witnesses say the tornado damaged a nearby mall along with businesses and homes, injuring at least 6 people.
The mayor of Jonesboro has placed the city on a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. all weekend. National Guard has been called in to help secure the area. We actually had multiple places yesterday that saw severe weather. We had a cluster of tornadoes in eastern and northeastern Arkansas, but we also had this cluster here throughout parts of Iowa and western Illinois yesterday. And those were the tornadoes. These were all the severe weather reports, a lot of hail and wind ahead of that. But the dynamics for that have changed. We may see an isolated strong thunderstorm later today as the cold front comes through, but I mean, nothing compared to what they had yesterday. A couple spots may see a storm later today, but that should be about it.
It's going to feel like summer today, though.
It is. It doesn't feel like it outside right now, but things are going to change. In fact, we have a lot of low cloudiness and fog. It's cooled off quite a bit in Richmond. In fact, right now, the temperature's down to 54 degrees. Winds rather north-northeast at 6. Temperature in dew point are matching at 54. That gives us 100% humidity. And the front that came through is sitting to our south. It should lift back northward today. And if we get enough sunshine, we should make it up into the upper 80s today at a time of year where 65 is normal. The record's 94. That'll be safe. But if we hit that 88, it'll be tying last Friday as the warmest day of 2020. Here are the visibilities in the fog right now. A quarter mile in Kilmarnock in Richmond, also in orange in Stanton, half a mile in Petersburg, 3/4 of a mile in West Point. And as you take a look at the temperatures, here's the front sitting to the south and north of the front. That's where the clouds, the fog, and the temperatures are in the 50s. South of the front, there's no fog. Breaks in the clouds and temperatures in the 60s. So this front's going to lift back northward today and get in get us into this warm sector here off towards the west, but this cold front will come through late in the day, and that may trigger a couple of thunderstorms very late this afternoon into this evening. This precipitation that you see is tracking to the northeast, and that should start to dissipate a little bit more, but some of that may survive the trip into far western Virginia over the next couple of hours. Central Virginia kind of socked in with the low clouds and fog, but as this front lifts a little bit farther northward, we'll start to see the low cloudiness get kind of scoured out as the day wears on. So once we get past about noontime, we'll start seeing a real increase in temperatures. Highs by late this afternoon in the low 80s to the north. We'll have mid to upper 80s just about everywhere else. Not out of the realm of possibility. There may be a spot across Southside Virginia that hits 90. But here we are at 4 o'clock ahead of the front. Notice here just a few green blobs there on the map. Just a few isolated thunderstorms will be possible as this front comes through. So not a lot of people will see these, but the ones that do pop up may have some gusty winds and some hail. Tomorrow morning temperatures will be in the 50s and not quite as warm tomorrow, but we'll still get into the 70s tomorrow afternoon. The next rain comes back late in the day on Tuesday, so a good chunk of the day will be dry. Be kind of soggy across the area Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, and then the rain should turn a lot more kind of spotty as we go throughout Wednesday afternoon. Here's a look at our 7-day forecast. 88 today and turning breezy once that front comes through later today. 77 and breezy tomorrow. 60 on Tuesday with rain late in the day. We'll have a few showers left over on Wednesday. High of 54, but then we're back into the mid and upper 60s for the second half of the week. And it looks like now we may be mainly dry Thursday through Saturday. Greg?
Okay, Mike, thanks so much. It's 6:16 on CBS 6 Sunday morning. How some seniors at a nursing home are keeping entertained during COVID-19. Their spin on a classic game. You might have this problem working from home if you have little puppies and pets. The adorable reason a dog owner can't seem to get any work done.
Call 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning to replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. Warming up in there, Dave?
Yeah, but my toes are still blue.
Those are your socks, Dave. Ask us about a new furnace today.
Unprecedented times like these call for unprecedented action for our customers. So Loyalty has partnered with Toyota Financial Services, Nissan Motors Acceptance, and Volkswagen Credit to delay car payments for 6 months. Buy any new Loyalty Nissan, Volkswagen, or Toyota and make no payments till October or later. And enjoy all the benefits of lifetime loyalties. No car payments for 6 months. It's our way of helping you get through the days ahead at Loyalty Toyota, Nissan, and Volkswagen.
All your Cracker Barrel favorites, like our Golden Country Fried Steak, our Scratch-Made Buttermilk Pancakes, and our signature chicken and dumplings, are made in our home to enjoy in yours. Come on home with Cracker Barrel to go.
What are you working on?
I've got a 6, 8, and 13-year-old. What I need is
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Any color you want, we can mix it or match it.
Nice.
Get Valspar Ultra Interior Paintless Primer starting at $24.98 a gallon. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about mine.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
When we face adversity, we find a way through it. It's about taking care of each other. It's the small parts that make a big difference. At Chevy, we promise to do ours. We're offering Chevy owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services and Wi-Fi data. If you need a new Chevy, interest-free financing for 84 months with deferred payments for 120 days on many of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home. It's just our way of doing our part.
Call 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning to replace your old furnace with a new high-efficiency one. Warming up in there, Dave?
Yeah, but my toes are still blue.
Those are your socks, Dave. Ask us about a new furnace today.
CBS 6 Sky Tracker, sponsored by McGeorge Toyota. We earn your trust every day.
All right, 20 minutes after the top of the hour, it's time to take a look at some of the week's best videos in our segment we call Hey, Watch This. Want me to kick us off right now?
Start us off, Boo.
Okay, listen to this. The coronavirus can be especially deadly to senior citizens, leaving many in isolations. So some pensioners, as they're called in the UK, a nursing home, are making the best of a bad situation by putting a new spin on a classic board game. The folks played a real life-size version of Hungry Hungry Hippos. I can still hear that jingle. Staff members paired up the seniors and gathered colorful balls with makeshift hippo mouths made out of baskets and broomsticks. The center has been on lockdown since March 12th with no visitors allowed in, but they're having a good time. The game was another way the seniors are staying busy, along with cooking, quizzes, craft sessions, and exercise classes. How cool is that?
Reminds me, like sometimes we show the dogs and they like have the equivalent of a ball pit of all the balls coming in. Everyone's just like, so I love that.
They started off with Twister, but there were too many broken hips.
Pull the hip. Well, one New York City couple didn't let the coronavirus stop them from tying the knot. Nope. They held their ceremony in the streets of the Big Apple with a friend officiating the wedding out of his window of his 4th floor apartment.
You, Amanda Wheeler.
So there you see, Amanda and Riley were planning to get married in October, but they decided to move it up. However, when they went to the Mayor's Bureau last week, it was closed because of COVID-19, so they decided just to get married on a sidewalk, and their friend volunteered to officiate from a safe distance. Doobie Brothers taking it to the streets, Mick Jagger and David Bowie dancing in the streets, and now wedding in the streets.
So funny. The thing is, though, the rice hurt from the 4th floor.
What did you say? Do you take her? What?
All right, many Americans are being forced to work from home due to the pandemic, of course, and a New Yorker now has to learn how to divide his attention between cuddles and spreadsheets.
Okay, all right. Can I do my work? All right, we're gonna do, no, okay, all right. Just one more time, no, okay, all right.
So adorable. That is Ginny, an 11-month-old Chow Chow and Golden Retriever mix. Her owner, Kevin Johnson, shared this video of his quote-unquote work-from-home experience. Clearly, Ginny is loving having her owner home all day long. Didn't mind that, he was home. It's just she needed to get on the Animal Planet website.
Well, the one thing I didn't want to bring this up. I actually know what actually was going on in that video. It wasn't she wanted attention. She noticed a mistake in a spreadsheet, and she was trying to fix it, and he kept moving his hand, and she's like, no, that doesn't belong in column 2.
Really smart Chow Chow.
There you go. Chow Chow. Love saying that. And that's a look at this week's, this hour's Hey, Watch This.
Yeah, we got another segment coming up.
I'm not going to be here past 6:30. Time now for Pause for Pets. Here is Mike Goldberg.
Carrying you again.
Good morning. Here is Goose, adoptable from Richardson's Rescue. She was originally adopted to a loving family, but sadly the family had a baby who became allergic, so they had to return her. She has a rather quirky purr or growl thing going on. She'll need a family where she can be her talkative self, but she can really be a love bug. While she'd probably prefer a home with less cats, she's currently thriving at the Richardson's Rescue Boutique, and everyone who has met her just loves her crazy personality. If you're interested in Goose, give Richardson's Rescue a call at their number that is on the bottom of your screen. I'm Mike Goldberg with this morning's Pause for Pets.
Thanks, Goldie. It is 6:23. Low clouds and fog across the area currently, with visibilities really cut down from the metro and especially points north and east. And some spots like Richmond and Kilmarnock and Orange and Stanton, we have visibility around a quarter of a mile. Front has moved to the south, so we've cooled off a little bit with temps in the 50s, but that front's going to lift back northward, and we'll jump back up into the 80s this afternoon. It is going to be kind of a cool, cloudy, and foggy first half of the morning into the first part of the day. It'll turn breezy. There may be a late day thunderstorm in a spot or two. We're talking about after about 4 or 5 o'clock. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler, but still above normal, and then our next rain comes in late Tuesday and early Wednesday. We'll spend the balance of the week in the 60s. Greg?
Okay, Mike, thanks so much. It's 6:24 on CBS 6 Sunday morning. Look at this. The steeple of a historic church goes up in flames. What firefighters believe is to blame for this historic loss. 2 people dead following a wrong-way crash on Interstate 95. Who among the victims and the charges the driver is facing this morning?
Doppler Max 6 is sponsored by the law firm of Allen & Allen. The injury attorneys of Allen & Allen are here to fight for compensation for your injuries. Visit allenandallen.com.
There's just nothing better than a plate of Mama's famous pasta. Her recipe, top secret.
Michelina's. Let Mama feed you.
For most patients that have sensitivity, it's very common to have a gum health concern as well. If you have sensitive teeth, you probably aren't going to brush your teeth as effectively because it causes pain. And if you see blood, you should do something about it. You know, I talk to dentists every day, and they're able to recommend one product, New Sensodyne Sensitivity and Gum, to address both conditions at the same time. If we only treat one versus the other, the patient's mouth is never going to be where it needs to be. It's really good dentistry to be able to recommend one product for patients that can address two conditions.
When we face adversity, we find a way through it. It's about taking care of each other. It's the small parts that make a big difference. At Chevy, we promise to do ours. We're offering Chevy owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services and Wi-Fi data. If you need a new Chevy, interest-free financing for 84 months with deferred payments for 120 days on many of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home. It's just our way of doing our part.
Just call them already.
When your lawn's Virginia green, it gets attention. Go Virginia Green at virginiagreenlawncare.com.
Nothing is more important than family, especially in these uncertain times. So we're taking steps to protect your family with Hyundai Assurance. When you buy or lease a new Hyundai through April 30th, we'll cover your payments for up to 6 months should you lose your job this year due to COVID-19. Plus 0% APR financing on select vehicles with deferred payments for 4 months. We also have options to shop online and take delivery at home. Hyundai Assurance, because making things better for your family is our first priority.
Celebrate 2020 with James River Air's Roaring 20 sale. Save 20%, get a 10-year warranty, and free maintenance. Call James River Air. I guarantee you'll dance to Charleston.
All right, welcome back. It's 6:27. We have new information this morning about a deadly crash on Interstate 95 in Chesterfield. Virginia State Police have released the names of the victims. According to investigators, 32-year-old Danielle McDaniel from Petersburg was driving the wrong way when she hit a Nissan head-on before hitting another car and running off the road. Troopers say 2 people in the Nissan, 43-year-old Renee Thomas from Glen Allen and a 1-year-old boy died at the scene. Paramedics took 5 people, including a 3-month-old baby, to the hospital. McDaniel is facing felony DUI, manslaughter, and maiming charges. Overseas, North Korea has conducted another round of ballistic missile testing. That, according to reports from South Korea and Japan. They say the rogue nation fired projectiles that traveled about 150 miles before landing in the Sea of Japan. North Korea has fired missiles and artillery shells in what analysts believe is an effort to upgrade its military capability amid deadlocked nuclear talks with the United States. Back here in the United States, firefighters spend hours putting out flames at a historic Baltimore church. The steeple caught fire. Investigators are looking into whether or not a lightning strike started the flames. Witnesses say they heard a large boom before seeing the flames at Urban Bible Fellowship Church. More than 60 firefighters had to put out the massive fire at the highest point of the 155-year-old historic building. The church was empty at the time. It housed a former Catholic congregation. It was added to the National Historic Register in 1982. Again, the church was empty. It took crews more than 4 hours to extinguish the flames. 6:29, still ahead here on CBS 6 Sunday morning. COVID-19 changing how one company completes deliveries. The changes UPS is making during the pandemic that online shoppers need to know about. And President Trump sees off a naval hospital ship bound from Virginia to New York. How the vessel hopes to contain the spread of COVID-19 once it arrives.
When you take Align, you have the support of a probiotic and the gastroenterologist who developed it.
Align naturally helps to soothe your occasional digestive